Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. My name is Rod Batiste. I am a former middleweight champion of the world in full contact karate and the inventor of Escape Strategies, which again stands for the Easy System of Control and Practical Emergency Strategies. Now, today's topic is going to be about your self-defense choices or options. Okay, but let me just remind you, before we begin, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below so that I can get you in my database and send you all kinds of information about upcoming self-defense seminars, what to do's, how to do's, and how to be safe. Okay, let's talk about self-defense options. There are always going to be 3 self-defense options in a personal safety situation. There will always be 3 regardless of the situation. The first option is compliance. The second is to negotiate, and the third is to fight back. Okay, let's take them one at a time. Compliance is the choice that most police or law enforcement officials recommend. And the reason why they recommend it is for 2 reasons. One, the obvious is they want to decrease the risk of you getting injured. The second is that there may be some legal aspects to them telling you that you should fight back, and then you try to fight, doesn't work out, and you go back and you say, well, he told me to do that, and you may have some legal problems with that. One of my problems with this compliance situation is that they don't take the mental aspect of it into consideration. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. I was abducted in the 80s. Someone jumped into my car, stuck a gun in my rib, threatened to take my life, and I was scared out of my head. I mean, I have never known fear like that before. And it occurred to me, and I did at first start to think about just completely complying. I mean, okay, just do what the person tells me to do. So here's the money. Don't, let's not go any further with this situation. Just take it and leave me, okay? And then the person said, shut up. He said, don't try to engage me. He said, just take me to this place where I can do to you what I have to do. Okay, those words told me that he intended to hurt me. Okay, from that point on, I knew that I had to do something physical, even though I didn't want to. Now, I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to do something physical to me. My mind just kind of assumed it. So I considered begging and pleading, trying to do anything to get out of it. I chose fighting back. That's what I chose. And as you can see, I'm standing here today. Okay. Now, there are many motivations to the reasons why I chose to fight back. And, if you'd like to understand why I chose that, then you can meet me in my next video. But let's continue with this idea of choices. Okay. Ultimately, I decided to fight back, and I did well. A few days after the situation, I went to the gym as the instructor and began to teach class. In the middle of the class, and when I was telling people what they should do in a situation, how they should use this or that technique, it occurred to me that if I had not chosen to defend myself, I would not be able to teach martial arts ever again. Why? Because here I was trying to encourage people to do something that I didn't have the mental strength to do. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And that is the mental about it. Okay, let me give you a glaring example. If you're a female, you're in a stressful situation, a guy pulls a knife out on you, a guy grabs you in a hallway and gets you down, and he's attempting to rape you. You can comply. If you comply, you have to live with that decision the next day and for the rest of your life, okay? There's an old Chinese saying. That saying goes like this: coward dies 1,000 deaths. A brave man only once, okay? Again, take into consideration the mental about anything remotely concerning complying. But the next option is to negotiate. And if you're negotiating, you need to assume a negotiating posture or position. Negotiating doesn't mean, well, telling the guy, I've got $100, I'll give you 50 and let me have 50. That's not what negotiating is. Negotiating is when you're trying to help the person make sense of it. Why are you doing this? Do you really think this needs to happen? Is there something else that I can do to make you happy? That's negotiating. The issue with negotiating is, though, you need to be prepared for a physical encounter, meaning you're standing there and you're talking to someone, all of a sudden they swing at you, you need to be prepared with that. For that, I offer a negotiating position. The negotiating position simply looks like this. You have your hands folded in and around your face, maybe on your chest and body. They can even be up like this, and you may be saying something like, I don't really understand what I did so awfully bad to make you so upset. If it takes me saying I'm sorry, I really am sorry. But this doesn't have to go any further. But while you're negotiating, you're in a safe position, because if the person tries to strike you, your hands are in a position where you can deflect the oncoming strike without giving yourself away. So you're not going to this position and you're saying, in absolute terms, I aim to protect myself. Thereby you encourage the person to get a little more hostile. You actually assume a position that, it's not unusual to see, but your hands are in a position where if somebody were to suddenly strike out at you, you can deflect the strike. More importantly, if you wanted to, you can use your hand, because they're already up, to do one of the strikes, okay? All right, so the last self-defense option is to fight back. Now, the thing about fighting back is that you need to know what it is that you are trying to do. In other words, you need to know a little bit about the human body. You need to know a little bit about the striking tools that you have. That way, you can determine what you're trying to do. In other words, people say, what are you doing? Well, I'm defending myself. Yeah, well, you're out there like this. You're having the clearest idea what it is that you're trying to do. You engage somebody, they're doing the same thing. It could last an awfully long time. Whereas if you were to know what it is that you're trying to do, you're going to hit the throat, I'm going to hit the groin, I'm going to jab to the eye, I'm going to hit the tip of the nose. Then you know with no uncertain terms that you can neutralize the assailant and make a getaway, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing about fighting back is there's no such thing as almost fighting back. You're not half-heartedly punching. You're not doing one strike and hoping for the best. If you decide to fight back, it's an all-out barrage of techniques until the person either ceases and desists or can't continue any longer. Okay, now I hope you found this information helpful. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below, and I'll see you next video.